this is Tracy with Learning the Keto Way, and I'm going to make some deviled eggs. Eggs are a good source of protein and they're very keto friendly. So I am going to, got 4 eggs for us today, and I am going to pull out the yolks so that I can make the middle that gets squirted in. So, oops, there goes that one, but that's okay. It's still editable, or edible. And I'm gonna do kind of a twist on deviled eggs today. I'm gonna add avocado and some other ingredients that you might not think of. The nice thing about deviled eggs is you can kind of do them any old way you find you like. The one thing with keto though is you do not want to use sweet relish like some folks do. I prefer dill relish anyway, but for keto you do not want to use sweet relish. So I've got my dill relish, and it has 0 carbs and 0 sugar, so this is good. And I'm going to just put in, and this is mainly for the salt taste in it, so I'm going to put in a little bit of, it's maybe a tablespoon of the relish. I'm going to put in the avocado. This avocado is pretty ripe, so it's got a little bit of browning on the top, but that's okay, it still tastes good. And this is something that, you know, some people have never really thought about, is using an avocado. This is a great source of fat and tasty. I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to use garlic powder, which I happen to love. And I use that anytime I make them, no matter how I make them. And that's probably gonna be, I would guesstimate, like half a teaspoon maybe, or a teaspoon, probably a teaspoon. And then dill weed, which I love, and I don't think you can eat too much dill weed. So I put in, that's probably I would say a teaspoon. I don't measure this kind of stuff, but then I'm gonna put a little bit of ground mustard. I'm not gonna put as much in as I did of the rest, and since I don't want to overdo it, I'm gonna actually put it in my hand. And I'm probably gonna put a little bit more of that back in, because this can be kind of strong, but I think it'll add some good flavor. And again, you can experiment and add spices that you like. I've made curried ones before with curry powder, and they're really good. And then this stuff is just amazing.
Hold on, what is this?
It's this truffle dust, and it's really, really good and adds like really good flavor to food. We get it at, where did we get it?
Kroger's.
At Kroger's, our local grocery store. So look for it in your grocery store. If not, you could probably find it online. And I'm just gonna put probably maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon of that, if that much, probably just, you know, maybe even a half or a 1/4 teaspoon. And then some ground pepper. And some Himalayan pink sea salt. And the reason we use Himalayan pink sea salt is because it has a lot of good minerals in it that you need, as opposed to the other salts, the table salt, like your regular iodine salt. That has a sodium to it that isn't necessarily the best thing for you. This stuff has a lot of good stuff in it, and so use this if you can. And then, this is gonna be the magic bullet. Ray made a fermented hot sauce using a pepper that we found. We don't know what kind of pepper it was. It looked like a giant habanero. And the sauce is actually pretty hot, but it doesn't stay with you hot. It's really, really good. And I'll have Ray do a video on how he made this, but this stuff is amazing. And so when I was gonna make the deviled eggs, I thought, I'm gonna try a little bit of this just to see what it does to the filling. So this, because it is warm, I'm gonna actually measure it, and I'm gonna use probably, let's see what 1 teaspoon looks like. 1 teaspoon, so I might use 2. I'm gonna live dangerously today. And I'm gonna use 2 teaspoons of Ray's amazing sauce. So, and I'll have him tell you how he made that. And I need to get some mayo. Okay, so I'm gonna add a squirt of mustard. This gives it the liquidy stuff to kind of mix it up good. So I don't know, that's probably maybe a half of a teaspoon, quarter teaspoon maybe, or half a teaspoon. And then I'm going to use avocado oil mayo. One of the things on our to-do list is to learn how to make our own mayo. But for now, I'm using this. It has 0 carbs.
Talk about this brand also. This brand has honey listed in the ingredients, but it's probably more than a flavoring. Or it's just a flavoring. Otherwise, they would have had to list it as less than 1 gram. So even though honey is on the ingredients list, there isn't enough sweetness or sugar there to make it sugary. To
make it even have to be labeled as sugary. And in fact, it says no significant source of dietary fiber, total sugars, added sugars, vitamin D, calcium, iron, and potassium. So that says that whatever honey they put in there was negligible as far as sugars go. So this is a good choice if you're looking for a mayo to use. And then, but the better choice is to actually make your own at home, and then you know exactly what's in it and you don't have to worry about it. And that's going to be on our one of our future videos, is how to make your own mayonnaise. Okay, I've got my tablespoon, and I'm going to start with, because measuring is important when you're putting ingredients in that, you know, like this, you wouldn't want to put too much in just in case there's a little dollop of sugar you're not thinking about. So that's 1 tablespoon. I'm going to work with that first and see if it mixes up well. If it mixes up good, then that's all I'll use. If I need a little bit more, then I'll measure in some more. But since I'm only doing 4 eggs, I might not need. I like to use a fork because it's just easier to mash it that way. And once I get it all mashed up real good, then I'm going to use the spoon to mix it real good, and then we will put the filling in the eggs. And I will let Ray be the taste tester to see if it's any good. And get all the lumps out of it and make it nice and creamy. So that 1 tablespoon was plenty. I didn't need any more to make it creamy. That's kind of, you want to start out with less is more when you're doing deviled eggs, because you can overdo the filling with the mayo and even the mustard. You can put too much in and then it gets kind of runny, and you don't want that. With the avocado being as ripe as it was, it made it a little creamier too. I probably could have even used like half a tablespoon of the mayo. But all right. Now you could get really fancy and you could put this in a piping bag and pipe it in there. If you were going to take it to a party or whatever, you might want to do that because then it would look really pretty. But since this is just for Ray and I for lunch, I'm just going to spoon that stuff in there. And that's the way I do it. Not the prettiest in the whole wide world, but if we were going to take this to somebody's house, I would
want a deviled egg plate.
Do I want a deviled egg plate? Do you have one?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm going to put them on the plate. These are fun plates. You can get these at Walmart. Probably any grocery store has them. You can get them in different looks and stuff. But
so are they good?
They're very good. Ray says they're very good. And you can taste just a hint of the heat on that. What's really wonderful about this fermented sauce that Ray made is that it's hot, but it's like I don't know, it's one of those hots that just doesn't stick with you. You know how you eat something and it puts your mouth on fire? This has just got super amounts of flavor and just the right amount of heat. So again, he's going to do a video on how he made that stuff because it's amazing. All right, and there you have it. That is homemade deviled eggs.
Avocado.
Avocado deviled eggs. I'm Tracy with Learning the Keto Way.